Shalom, family trendsetter. All praises be to the Most High. I'm actually at work, so you will hear some noise in the background. Now, I don't know how often you guys debrief your children, right? Especially the one that's at the age where they can attend school. What I mean by debriefing, like having to sit down and just pretty much going over their day, asking them how was their day, what took place at school. And if you was to do that, you'd be surprised, especially if you have an open relationship with your kids where you can actually, they can come to you and tell you anything. Like my kids have a great relationship with me because they know I'm very down to earth, you know what I mean? I'm not judgmental. And then another thing is when you decide to debrief your kids, you don't want to cut them off. You don't want to tell them no, this is not how, you know what I mean? You want to hear what they have to say. And after they finish saying what they say, then you ask them, do you want to get my opinion on it? You know what I mean? Because they may not want your opinion. They probably already made up their mind how they feel about a certain situation. So my 13-year-old daughter and I have a great relationship. From she was young, I taught her the ways of the Hebrew Israelites, you know what I'm saying? How pretty much, she needs to follow certain way of life, you know what I mean? Having morals and respect. She's very, very respectful. Actually, all my kids are respectful except for one. And you know what I mean? It's like I think I've done a pretty decent job. You know what I'm saying? And she will come to me oftentimes with issues at school. When I walk in the house, hey Dad, how you doing? Oh, hey, her name and shit. I ain't gonna say it on here. And she'll say, how was your day at work? I said, it was good. It was all right. How was your day at school? It was all right. I said, anything, new happened? Anything you want to talk about? And sometimes she'll say, nah, nothing really. But then oftentimes she will always have a story to tell. So she'll either talk about there was a couple fights in school, this person doing this, how, the girls her age, they're into boys. And, I'll be reminding her, this is not the age to be thinking about boys. She said that, I know that already. You know what I mean? So I teach her. I tell her that, these boys are only out to get one thing. Once they get it, that's it. It's like going fishing. Once you catch the big fish, and you throw it back in the water, you ain't going to go back and try to catch the big fish again because you already caught the shit. So you're going to move on to the next. So, I explain all that to her. So she's familiar with that. So now she's telling me about how she's noticing a lot of these girls her age are gay, right? And I'm looking at her like, what? They're not gay. They confused. She said, no, Dad. They really into each other. They act like they act like a couple, a male and female couple. And I'm like, really? And I remember like a couple years ago, like maybe 2-3 years ago, she told me that they had this thing in school where they was going to talk about, trans, the alphabet shit, the LGBTU, whatever the fuck, right? And the pronouns and all that. And she wanted to know if it was okay for her to learn about it. I said, well, you can learn about it just to know what it's about, that it's not something that you're going to engage in, but I don't want you to participate in the shit. Like, she said, no, Dad, I just want to hear what they have to say because I got your take on it and I want to hear what they have to say. And then I remember she coming back to me, she said, Dad, you ain't going to believe the agenda that they're pushing. And that's how intelligent she is, because the school that she go, the area that we live, right, Howard County, Maryland, for those of you who are familiar with Maryland, you know that Howard County is one of the top counties here in Maryland, if not, you know what I'm saying, if not the whole the country, because the curriculum is very advanced, you know what I mean, and they really push education. So she's very articulate, very smart, So she was telling me, she said, you would be surprised the agenda that they're pushing. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she told me how, they're talking about, you have the right to choose your sexuality. And these are like, at the time, this was like 2 years ago. So she would have been like fucking 11. It could have been 3 years ago. And at that age, they're teaching these kids that, and these kids, how these kids are. They're going to be rebellious, if especially if it's a trend, if it's a fad, because they're literally pushing this agenda, not only through education, but they're actually pushing it through the food that they eat. You go to McDonald's, these fucking fast food, y'all are eating, so they putting these hormones in the food. It's turning the males feminine and turn the females masculine, and it's literally just messing them up. You see what I'm saying? Messing their minds up, and then they have these shows, TV shows, and they have reality shows, and now they got cartoons with the shit. I'm serious, fam. They got cartoons that little kid watch talking about sexuality, like, embracing. You got. I remember one day I was watching something on Netflix with this cartoon, and the little motherfucker had on rainbow colors, and they had a little. I guess the other character asks, "Why are you wearing rainbow?" Oh, this represent our, and it's basically talking about the LGBT community. You know what I'm saying? And this is what the fuck we have to deal with. These are the type of people, family, that is rule. Just think about it for a second. Whether you black, white, or indifferent, right? These are the people that's ruling this world, especially here in America, even in Europe, right? These are the people that's ruling us, giving us laws to govern our lives, telling us this is what we should do. Then you put your kids in the education fool system, education, really, because it's bare lies they teach you. Because when you send your black kids to school, they teach them about fucking Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. Like, well, what that got to do with us as black people? You know what I mean? Then they teach about slavery, as if like our beginning started with slavery. But what I'm saying to you, they are indoctrinating your kids, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of lies, and now they're forcing this shit upon your kids. And you know how kids are, they're very influential. If you keep hearing it, especially coming from an adult, you're going to rock with it. You're going to roll with it. You're going to figure, okay, it's okay, you know what I'm saying, for me to think this way, especially if you see other kids doing it. And a lot of these kids, some of these kids, not a lot, but some of them, most of them anyway, probably was exposed to it from home. You probably have parents that's bisexual, homosexual, whatever, you know, shit that they're seeing, and it's passed down to them, and then they bring that shit to the school, and then, and some of these kids are probably molested, you know what I'm saying, by parents or family members. So these sexualities all fucked up because, at that age, they're being exposed to some kind of trauma, some kind of experience that they shouldn't be exposed to. And then they bring it, into the schools. Just like she was telling me the other day that one of her friends came across some edibles and shit and ate like 3 edibles. I think it was, brownies or some shit. And her friend is like 13 years old, and her friend was fucked up, like literally high, crying because you got these irresponsible, goofy ass so-called parents. Because you have animals that take care of the kids, their offspring better than some humans. So they put this shit in harm's way. So the little girl went and see, little kids and shit, they see brownie, they don't know this shit's edible or what. They may know it and just decide to eat the shit. These are the type of people that's raising these kids. And they gotta then these kids come amongst your kid that you're trying to influence in a positive light. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, these are the fucking people, family, that's literally ruling this country, that's ruling this world. These fucking these psychopaths, these warped-minded individual. How can you contemplate teaching a student that it's okay for them to be gay? They was born a male, and he says it's okay for you to embrace your feminine side of you or your masculine. I mean, what? And you want me to have respect for these fucking hybrids? And then you got some dumb black niggas following suit. You know what I'm saying? You got these fucking dummies that's already indoctrinated, doing the same thing the oppressors is doing. First of all, destroying the black community. You got these goofy ass niggas on these rap videos, brandishing guns, pants sagging, talk about black women as a bitch, and these dumbass fucking goofy ass black female, they following suit, dressing skimpy, and this is the image that they're putting out there in the world. And then they wonder why these fucking hybrids, right? These non-melanated hybrids or these other nations treat us the way they treat us, because we give them ammunition to do so. Not because they're doing it, we have to follow suit. Back in Martin Luther King days, he wanted us to integrate and we, he wanted us to become one. Why? We have to drink from the same water fountain as them. Why? Why we can't have our own fucking water fountain? Why we got to drink their water fountain? Why we got to go to their school? Why we got to mix amongst them? Listen, for me, if I'm around a devil, a hybrid devil, you know who I'm referring to. There's a fucking so-called white man. Yes, it is. That's what I'm referring to, right? If I'm around that individual and he don't want me around him, I'm not going around him. I'm not going to force myself up to be a part of something that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, we're 2 different species of people. Clearly, black and white are 2 different people. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. We're the same. We're not the same, because you got 2 dogs. You got a Doberman and you got a pit bull. They both dogs. They both shit. They both bleed blood red. right? Both have similar organs and shit, but they're clearly two different species of fucking animals. So you can't say we're the same. And I'm thinking like these are the people that's ruling over us, governing us. These lawmakers, old ass fat fucking bastards, old decrepit looking motherfuckers, right? Making laws and sending out young people to go fight wars. Meanwhile, they're at home and they in the comfort of their homes. Meanwhile, you're putting your kids out in harm's way because they're promising them some shit, GI Bill or some kind of, incentive to go and put their life at danger for this fucked up country that they stole from the Native American Indian, who were originally black people, copper colored people, not the Mongoloids that mixed in with us. And now you have this new set of $5 Indians. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the original copper colored people. They came to our motherfucking land, which is the Americas, right? Because the original Aboriginal people of this planet were black people, right? White people came from us. I don't know where the fuck they came from. Whatever species of creature that amalgamated with us was what they call the troglodytes and shit, mixed in with us and created a new species of humanoid called Neanderthals, and that's where white people really derive from. That's why they have that fucked up pale non-melanated skin complexion. You know what I'm saying? For some history that y'all need to know, right? And you got these hybrids ruling over us. These fucking devils that love to start war. You know, we're supposed to be living in peace and utopia. These devils literally, whether they be white, Asian, or whatever the fuck, because you got the fucking North Koreans, they got nuclear weapons, and most of these non-melanated countries, you don't see Africa got nuclear weapons. You don't see none of the African black countries and shit, right? When I'm gonna stop using that word black. African melanated countries have nuclear weapons because we don't deal with warfare. Yeah, we go to war at times and, these tribes and shit, but not on the scale of mass destruction, just wiping out millions of people with one nuclear weapon. You know what I'm saying? These are the type of people that you want me to love and respect as my motherfucking enemy. Bible talk about love your enemy and turn the other cheek and shit. You want me to love them as my enemy? Are you kidding me? These wicked ass fucking hybrid. Every time I try to find a reason for the season to self-gate, maybe I'm a little bit too extreme with not. No, I will love them from afar. I won't love them. I will love maybe the deeds that they do that is righteous, but I would never love them. Never, because they're not human. They're not, well, they actually are human. And I tell you, I need to make a video breaking out the knowledge of the word human, because that word was created by them and it's identifying them. We black people, we are the son of the children of the sun. Okay? We're actually ether beings. We're not motherfucking humans, really. But we use the word because it sounds good or whatever, right? But we're ether beings. We're not like them. Okay? We are one with the sun. They are not. That's how you know that they're not one of us, because they have to protect their eyes from the sun. That's why a lot of times they wear shades and they have to get out of the sun at certain times. That, they was cave dwellers. They came out of the motherfucking caves, right? In Caucasus Mountain and shit in Georgia, Russia. But anyway, family, I'm just thinking like how messed up this world is. You got to send your kids out there to the wolves and shit. We as black people sending our motherfucking kids to the enemy, to the oppressing class. You know what I'm saying? They teaching us their history. Who gives a fuck about George Washington, Abraham Lincoln? Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? These fuckers used to own slaves and rape and kill, and, the same way how today they descendants are doing it. So why would I want to learn about what is so special about their fucking history? Their history is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I curse a lot on my video because I want you goofy ass Christian to be desensitized. You know what I'm saying? Why would I want to send my child to learn about fucking Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Benjamin? Who gives who cares about these devils? Look at their history. You know what I'm saying? Man, and like I said, me personally, I wish I had the opportunity, the means to take my kids out of the fucking public school system and literally have a private tutor. I don't have that kind of resources right now, right? She's already indoctrinated, but at least I know I put my influence in her where she can know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she do when she's out there with her friends and shit, but I know for the most part, she's telling me what the fuck I want to hear, and that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? For right now, I don't have any proof that she's doing otherwise. I know me and her mom has instilled values in her, teach her shit, give her examples, what to do, what not, why you shouldn't do it and shit, because if you do it, this is going to be the outcome. And she's smart enough to make, to make the right decision. But again, who knows, right? But I'm just saying, man, they are pushing this agenda. They're putting the shit in the food, right? These hormones in the food and shit. Even if the shit start from in the womb. Even these prenatal pills that y'all be taking. Do y'all know that shit is fucking y'all kids up? That's why when your kid is born and shit, they have an identity problem because they starting this shit from the womb. The agenda starts from within the womb. That's why I was telling my wife when she was pregnant, stop taking the prenatal shit. Why would it? Nah, she's a nurse and shit, so everything is medical. If the shit is in the book and she can read it and it's there and verify the shit, it's okay. And I was telling her, I said this shit. I said when you see these kids talk about I was born this way, they were born that way because they was putting the fucking hormone shit in their prenatals from birth. Before they was even born, this shit started from the womb. They target you from the womb, especially black people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all put perms in y'all hair and shit. Now y'all getting cancer, ovarian cancer, targeting your womb. Once again, these are some evil fucking hybrids, man. That's why, man, I just wish I could see what the fuck I see when I see them. You remember that movie? There was a movie, right, back in the day. It's called They and shit, where you put on the sunglasses and you can see the motherfucker for who they really is. They're telling you something. These movies are subliminal. They're telling you who the fuck that what you see is not what it really is. It's a veil, family. It's a veil that's over us and really and truly distorting reality. These devils, man, if we was to see them because I could see them. I see them for who they are. All that smiling and shit and that deceptive fucking greeting and shit, it's all a facade. Right? These are wicked ass ether being humans then, right? That's what the fuck they are. They're the humans, for real. When they talk about evolution started from an ape, they're talking about themselves because they have the rhesus monkey DNA. This shit is deep. Google if you don't believe me. Europeans have the rhesus monkey DNA and Asians too. They have, they say Europeans have about 3% or 4% Neanderthal DNA in them, and the fucking Asian, I could see they have them more because they do act primitive and shit. Right? But I'm not going to go too far on this video because I want to flag it for hate speech or whatever, right? But family, really start debriefing your kids, man. When they come home, ask questions. Don't just throw them in front of the computer and shit and give them their cell phone just because you want you want just your spare time for yourself, giving them these fucking electronics as a form of babysitter. Y'all don't know what they be doing online. You know how many access they have? That's why a lot of these kids are so depressed. They come home, they look depressed, they disengage because they have to deal with a lot at school. It's time for y'all to wake up, man, and realize, we are the parent. They're trying to parent our kids for us. They're trying to take away our rights as parents. You was the one black woman, that was carrying around that baby for 9 months. Not these ugly motherfucking hybrids. You know what I'm saying? These hybrid that require or need makeup and shit to cover their true identity. Y'all don't understand how deep this shit is. That's why they created makeup. Because I believe some of these people are actually reptilians and shit. They have to disguise themselves to look like us. Notice when they get old, a certain age, how they start to wrinkle. That's why they need makeup and Botox and all this shit, because they're not naturally from this fucking planet. Okay, it's time for y'all to wake up. And with that, I say shalom.